morning and welcome everyone to the webinar. Today we are diving into life cycle analysis or life cycle assessment. The two are synonymous, and really getting at what are the impacts and opportunities with this type of tool to really understand what your impacts are and where there are opportunities to improve. This is a part of our larger QIA webinar series where we look at the quick impact assessment performance areas and how you as PSC members can easily improve performance by understanding performance, and also then what are those opportunities to improve, and that's what we, the PSC, are here to support you with. Really pleased to welcome some special guests today. So the good folks from Trayak are here. Prashant Jagtap is joining us. He is the president and CEO. He has over 25 years of experience helping leading brands and manufacturers really improve their product and package development using software solutions. And he is joined by his team members Nick Regano and Allison Yunts. Nick is going to walk us through an overview of how the Compass tool works. He comes to us with a degree in marketing and entrepreneurship, and he's been with Trayak for 2 years and tells me that the best part of his job is working with the development team for continuous improvement in user experience. So he's going to be our translator today for you as members and potential users of this incredible platform. He's going to walk us through. We also have Allison Yunts with us, sustainability consultant. She has been such a help in performing calculations and really getting down into the data that results from an LCA. She comes to us with a bachelor's in science in environmental engineering from Ohio State, so a Buckeye in the house. And she's really passionate about helping companies towards zero waste initiatives and net positive impacts. We also have joining us from Zoox, Julie Derschel, Manager of Operations and Support and Regulatory. And Julie is just going to chime in a little bit on the value and benefit of working with Trayak on a collaborative project, also performed with Excel. So we're going to give a shout out to Excel packaging today as well. Zoox and Excel worked together on a lightweighting project for their packaging, and this is just one step in a bigger process they are engaged with for continuous improvement of environmental and social impacts. And one of the things that Julie loves most about working for Zoox is that her work does touch on several dimensions of Zoox business, and as a longtime sustainability advocate, she really appreciates working for a company that is at the forefront of reducing social and environmental impact. So let's dive in. Oops. All right. Just to give you a little bit of context here, the quick impact assessment is an important part of how we, the PSC, works with you, our member companies, to really measure what matters in a variety of performance areas. And this is a part of our larger accelerator process by which we want to understand your performance, help you understand that, and then build a sustainability roadmap in order to improve where there are opportunities to do that, as well as really elevate the beneficial work that you are doing into your brand story. And we're going to hit on all aspects of that today. So out of the larger quick impact assessment, there are 5 performance areas we measure with our member companies. And today, we're really going to touch on a few. Life cycle assessment really hits on both environmental and community impacts. So from here, I am going to pass the mic and the mouse over to the Trayak team, and they are going to walk us through they're going to walk us through the agenda. And give me just a second here. It looks like I can't pass the mouse over, but Allison, are you able to come off of mute? Allison, Nick?
Yeah, I think we're off of mute now.
Great. So I think I'm going to have to continue to run the mouse, so if you just let me know when you are ready, I will advance our slides.
Yep, that'll be just fine. And thank you so much for the intro, Carta Elise.
Absolutely.
So, can we see your screen up there right now? Is that showing?
I
Do
still
we have
see
your
my
screen?
screen. Yeah, I still see my screen. And if one of the members, if you could put it into the questions box, let us know if you're seeing the screen. That would be fantastic.
If they are, we can. Yeah, and if they are, we can go from there. But anyway, so what we're talking about today. So we're going to talk about life cycle assessment and some of the opportunities that come with that, and really diving into some numbers that matter. I know it's a very important part of what the Pet Sustainability Coalition stands for. So today we're going to present a framework for an engagement that can be replicated by any of the pet sustainability member companies. So looking at our agenda, the first thing we're going to talk about is life cycle analysis. So what is it? What are some opportunities there? And then how you can mainstream life cycle analysis and then sustainability into some of your product design and development processes. From there, we're gonna look at how life cycle analysis can help you tell your sustainability story with some data that matters and some really important metrics that can help you track where you are in your sustainability journey. So from there, we're going to look at how this data can really help facilitate some better decision making. And then we're going to look at a case where the Pet Sustainability Coalition facilitated a relationship between Zoox and Trayak, and we conducted a life cycle analysis for Zoox on a dog treat flexible package, and we will look at the results of that analysis and then some of the successes that came from that and how you can really help tell this sustainability success story with LCA. So, life cycle analysis. If you could go ahead and hit the next slide there. So what is life cycle analysis? Life cycle analysis is a methodology that will characterize all impacts of a package. So this is from cradle to grave. So we're talking about sourcing, manufacturing, distribution, use, and end of life. So LCA is going to calculate all impacts from any material used and any energy that went into producing, converting, sourcing, or disposing of that package as well. And LCA is very important when considering a holistic approach. So with this data that we're going to get from this analysis, we can really evaluate some trade-offs. So a good example would be if a company has an assumption that maybe changing a material will lead to a more sustainable package. They can run a life cycle analysis and get some actual numbers to quantify that impact. So let's say you're changing from some type of a plastic to a bioplastic. When you do this and you run a life cycle analysis, you may find that although the carbon footprint is lower, more water was used to producing that package. So it just brings to light some of that trade-offs and really helps you make better decisions. So now let's take a look at some of the benefits of life cycle analysis on the next slide. So some of the benefits of LCA. The first would be compliance. So retailers are ever shifting their requirements, and a great example of this is Walmart's Project Gigaton that some of you may have heard of, and maybe some companies on this webinar may be a supplier of Walmart as well. So Walmart is committed to reducing a gigaton of emissions from their supply chain, and as part of that initiative, they're requiring all of their suppliers to report on their impacts. And our Compass tool that we're going to talk about today is going to be a great tool that could actually assist you in complying with Walmart or some other retailers as well. Another benefit, consumer perception. So consumers that really value a purpose-driven brand and want to support good companies that are measuring and working to reduce their impact, LCA can really help bring companies' impact and their sustainability journey to life. Reporting is also another benefit. So calculating a company-wide impact. So you can do an LCA for a single product as well as all products or a complete product line. And this is a great way to come up with some metrics such as a carbon footprint. And this can also help you with GRI or help you really shed light to investors or other stakeholders that your company is focusing on sustainability and reducing their impacts and is really in it for the long haul. So optimization. LCA can give us some great data and lead to data-driven decisions. So where this becomes really important is in the concept development and material selection phases. The tools we're going to show you today can give you data in the early design phase and really help you implement some of this environmental feedback in a cost-effective way. Then that brings up our next point, lean design. So when you incorporate this feedback in the beginning of the design phase, it is very cost-effective, and these tools are going to make this process very quick and easy and really allow you to mainstream this environmental assessment. And the last point there, differentiation. Companies who really embrace life cycle analysis and sustainability in general can really use this as a way to stand out from competitors in a very competitive marketplace across many industries. So with that being said, I'm now going to pass it off to Prashant Jagtap. He is Trayak's mastermind and CEO, and he's going to give you a little bit of background about Trayak and how we're really working to facilitate companies' sustainability goals.
Thanks, Nick. And so what I'm here to talk about is why we, as Trayak, are a good partner to do this thing. So first of all, emphasizing the idea of life cycle thinking. We were started as a company that worked very hard in creating tools for life cycle thinking. And again, as Nick mentioned, it is the idea about looking upstream and downstream of where you are in the design and clearly understanding the impact of that. Now, as a company, when we started, so we began with tools and applications that help you analyze. But we also had a bigger vision, and the vision was that we wanted to help all manufacturers, whatever they make, to design sustainability, manufacture sustainably, and source sustainably. So given that, and we didn't really want everybody doing it as a one-off either. So our focus was in creating a platform that lets you mainstream, which means do every one of your package and product design in that way. Not a one-off on the side, but every one of it. So that's our goal and that's our mission. And for that, we have created decision tools that that will help you reach your sustainability goals.
And Compass, if we could go to the next slide, is one of these tools. So Compass is a comparative packaging assessment application. That's what the acronym stands for. And it was developed by the Sustainable Packaging Coalition. So this is a tool that's going to help you assess the environmental footprint of your package in the early design phases. So with Compass, here are some of the benefits. You can model your primary, secondary, and tertiary packages by component. So when you're looking to create some type of a baseline or a benchmark, this is a great way to do that. You can also analyze these designs and view detailed environmental impacts. So these are consumption and emission metrics that we really keep hitting on, such as carbon footprint and water consumption and other life cycle indicators. From there, once we have these impacts and have ran an analysis, we can really identify some hotspots or some areas where we may be able to improve. For there, you can benchmark your whole portfolio and just see where your company stands, because a very important part of advancing through your sustainability goal or through your sustainability journey is really knowing where to start and knowing where you stand. Compass allows you to compare up to 4 different design alternatives, and this can be very important in the design phase. So say you're playing with a different material that may make your package more sustainable, or maybe even a new concept for a package. Compass can show you these comparisons and give you metrics side by side, which can really facilitate some of these what-if scenarios. And lastly, after you run your analysis and you get some environmental feedback, you can incorporate this into your design, which will lead to more sustainable packages and hopefully you reaching your sustainability goals. And just a side note there, the PET Sustainability Coalition is a member of the Sustainable Packaging Coalition, and yeah, they're happy to help you work towards your sustainability goals. All right, so if we could jump to the next slide there. So what does Compass provide you with? Compass really provides you with some numbers that matter. So these are consumption and emission metrics that have been identified by the Sustainable Packaging Coalition. So all of these metrics are going to encompass every stage from sourcing to production to conversion to any transportation and end of life. So all energy and material usage that went into getting that package from cradle to the consumer is going to be encompassed and displayed in these metrics. And you see our quote there, Compass provides data-driven information on packaging scenarios. And we all know how important data-driven decisions are, especially when proving a value of maybe a more sustainable design and presenting that design to someone in your own company or a stakeholder as well. So now I'm going to do a little bit of a lead-in for a case study that Zoox has put together with the help of the Pet Sustainability Coalition and Excel Packaging. So what we're going to present to you now is really a framework for some potential engagement that the Pet Sustainability Coalition, along with Trayak, could have for potentially any of your companies. So with that, I'm going to hand it off to Allison, and she's going to dive into a little bit of a background about how this engagement got started.
So like Nick said, we worked collaboratively with the Zoox, Excel Packaging, and the Pet Sustainability Coalition. So I guess to kind of provide a framework for how these engagements go is we request data from Excel and Zoox, and so they came back with the materials that were used in the package, as well as the mass of all these materials. And as you can see, we were modeling a dog treat flexible pouch, which is made of a polyester and a linear low-density polyethylene composite, as well as a low-density polyethylene zipper. So essentially, we worked with Zoox and Excel to collect this packaging information, and then we used the conversion processes in our software as well as the packaging type. And the packaging type is really important for calculating the end-of-life impacts of your package, which is important for greenhouse gas emission reporting. So once we had requested the data and we had all that, we were able to model their baseline package within EcoImpact. So as you can see, this is just a screen grab from the software and from the analysis. We modeled the entire packaging system. So that included the primary package, which is the pouch of dog food, which again is the composite and the zipper. And then we also modeled their secondary package, which was their corrugated case. And then we went on and modeled the pallet, which in this case is a GMA expendable pallet. And also you can see the number of primary packages was also modeled, as well as the number of secondary within the pallet. And this came important with their sustainability strategy and going forward with cube utilization and everything like that. So once we had the baseline modeled and we kind of had a starting point, that's when the sustainability strategy was really applied. So in this case, the biggest impact came from lightweighting the primary package. So Zoox and Excel were able to work together to redesign this package so that it was using less materials, but it was still holding the same amount of dog food. So this kind of came into the pallet optimization, which is when the primary package was able to, the same amount of primary packages were able to fit into a secondary package, but that secondary package was also smaller. So then more secondary packages were able to fit on the pallet, essentially reducing the wasted space when shipping. So then when we had the new design and the data for that, then we were able to model that package like we did the baseline, and then we were able to analyze and compare these within our software. So this is just the output that our software provides. You can see the fossil fuel consumption, GHG emissions, water consumption, and human impacts all decreased with the new design. So that was a big win for Zoox and Excel Packaging. This provides you with a really visual look at your sustainability goals and your metrics, and it also helps you identify hotspots. So you can see the breakdown between material, manufacturing, and transportation and end of life, and you can really see where you have the most impact. And so going forward with that, you can use also non-traditional LCA metrics alongside LCA metrics. So that means we have water consumption, GHG emission. Those are LCA metrics, which we already know. But what if you also wanted to model your weight reduction, or your cube utilization, or your packaging to product weight? EcoImpact has an EcoScore module which lets you do this, and it really provides an instant visual tool to see where your impacts have decreased, where you could use some, where you could also concentrate your efforts so that you can increase your sustainability, and you can see where your individual designs align with your sustainability goals in that way as well. So now let's look further at the results and how eco-impact helped Zoox tell this success story. And I'll pass it to Julie for that.
So actually, this is Karta Elise. I'm gonna chime in just real quick, and Julie, welcome you onto the line as well. But so, you know, our goal at the Sustainability Coalition in measuring what matters is to be able to also help you tell that story in a compelling way. So what we have really appreciated about working with Trayak and this particular project with Zoox and Excel is that we have verifiable data that we can actually feel really confident about building into the marketing brand story to say we actually can quantify a 9% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions, 12% in water use, 17% in biodiversity impact. So this is just one of the ways that we are telling that story through a case study that Caitlin and I created based on this project. You can see here some more compelling graphics. This is a way to just really simplify the data in a way that's visual and engaging that, you know, your consumers, retailers, buyers, they take one look at this and it's clear the difference that you are making and committed to making. And I'll also say, you know, this is a part of a larger ongoing commitment to continuous improvement that both Zoox and Excel really hold dear. And so there is going to be more on the horizon in their particular collaboration, and we also hope at the PSC that this really inspires you, other member companies, to also consider running an LCA with Trayak and seeing where you can really reduce impacts and incorporate that into your brand story. Now, Julie, can you jump on the line? We'd love to hear maybe just a word or two about the value of performing this LCA with Trayak and how that's informed your decision making moving forward. Let's see if I can find you, Julie, and maybe I can unmute you. If you're on the phone, you might have to dial #109#. Try that. #109#. There we go. And you are unmuted, Julie. Thanks for bearing with the technical here. So tell us about the Zoox experience.
So Zoox was a brand that was literally born in the outdoors. And our passion for the outdoors is why, you know, it's so important for us to take sustainability measures and really try and preserve our environment. And we recently did a packaging reset that we saw as an opportunity to improve our message as an outdoor lifestyle brand and really take a big leap in our sustainability efforts with our packaging. We attempted to calculate these items in-house and just could not figure out how to turn the data into measurable results, and that's where Trayak came in, and their Compass tool allowed us to do that and was invaluable to that process. So, you know, like Trayak and Karta Elise touched base on, they really helped us measure the fossil fuel consumption, greenhouse gas emission, water consumption, human impact, all this stuff that's so hard to do internally. They were able to do that through their reporting. So it's just been a great partnership.
Great, thank you so much, Julie, and thanks again for the commitment on the part of Zoox to improving environmental and social impact. And we really love to celebrate, you know, the collaboration between two member companies, Excel and Zoox both, in really driving industry-wide innovation. That's really such a big goal for the PSC and for all the member companies in our community. So from here, I'm going to pass it along back over to the Trayak team. Before we take some time for questions, just want to let you know we are at the PSC really pleased to be partnering with Trayak to offer the Compass tool to all of our member companies. And I'm going to pass it back over to Trayak to say a few more words about that. And if you have some questions and you want to go ahead and type them into the question box so that I have those on my radar, please go ahead and do that. So back over to you, Trayak.
All right, thank you very much, Karta Elise. And yeah, as she said, we are very excited to be able to partner with the Pet Sustainability Coalition and really help their sustainability efforts and getting a tool like Compass available to the members and making LCA really accessible. So today in this webinar, we really work to present a potential engagement that can be replicated along the pet sustainability member companies. So what would that consist of? You saw the different phases that Allison presented. The first was a data collection. So this would be a stage where we'd reach out to the Pet Sustainability Coalition, any member companies that would be interested, and we have a template that we would send to really collect some of this data that could be used for the analysis. The second would be modeling that package, all the components and the system. And then once we have all the data and the model, we can go ahead and compare a new design with a sustainability strategy applied to it. So maybe that's lightweighting, maybe that's a whole new concept. But once you get that new design, running that analysis is really important so you know where you are and know that you're headed in the right direction. And a tool like Compass will really help you do that in the design phase and really make sure you're going to get the results that you want early on. So the last part of that engagement there would be interpretation of results. So what would you get with an engagement, an LCA engagement like this? You would get that sustainability analysis. So we'd be able to tell you where you stand with your current design, and then with any new designs that you'd be iterating and trying to work towards, we'd be able to tell you where you stand with those designs as well. So evaluating any trade-offs and hopefully telling you and your stakeholders and any internal decision makers, telling you that success story. So we provide a comprehensive report that would cover all that. Typically, budget-wise, this is around $2,000. So we've tried to make this a very affordable, very accessible process with the help of the Pet Sustainability Coalition. And as part of that partnership, we're offering PSC members a 5 to 10% discount based on your membership level as well. So if you don't know where to start, this would be a great place to start. I know Karta Elise and the PSC team would be happy to answer any of your questions, as would we. But we also have it for companies that are maybe a little bit more advanced with their sustainability initiatives, or maybe have some of the resources to do some of this in-house. We would love for you to check out our Compass tool and really get this mainstreamed within your design process. We've really worked to streamline this tool so that designers and engineers could use it on a daily basis for any design or any design alternative that they're considering. Because this is really important when you're talking about making lasting results, is really getting that tool fully embedded within your design process. So we have a solution of tools to really help you along your sustainability journey, and we really hope that you consider checking out Compass and really mainstreaming sustainability into your design process.
Fabulous. Nick, thank you so much. And also thank you to you, Allison and Prashant, for the incredible work that you do in empowering companies to be able to mainstream sustainability and really build it in from design through use. And we are so excited to be partnered with you, and really, want to encourage our member companies to consider for a member project working with this incredible LCA tool. We're happy to talk more about that with any of you. I didn't see any questions come in at this point, and we are over by just 2 minutes, so I'm sure if you need to run, please go ahead and do so. I will take a look if anyone wants to raise their hand, and I can unmute you for a question. And in the meantime, members are always welcome to check out the PSC toolkit online. This is something that the Compass tool is something that we really are looking forward to connecting in as a part of the toolkit that we offer. We at the PSC don't want to reinvent the wheel, so we love partnering with organizations like Trayak, who can really offer some incredible expertise, and in this case, really verifiable calculations on your footprint and building that into your brand story in a way that is so verifiable. So I think without further ado, I'm just going to say thank you to everyone for joining us today. Please don't hesitate to email myself or Prashant if you have any questions, and we will look forward to seeing you on the next webinar, which is focused on environmental design innovations at the end of September. So stay tuned for more on that, and we'll look forward to seeing you all again soon. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.